And that attention was such that people became so involved with this book that it was constantly on their minds. What Allah Azza wa Jalla has said was constantly on their minds, and they were looking forward to the next thing. In fact, they used to sit around in their discussions and say, "Lawla nuzilat surah." If only another surah would be revealed. When will the next surah is going to be revealed? And for some people, when the verses would be revealed, and the Prophet ﷺ would recite them to those people and say, "Look, Allah has just revealed this to me," then there would be two kinds of people. There would be some who would say, "What is this? What more commandments, more instructions, more do's and don't do's? Ayyukum zadathu hadhihi imana." Whose iman is this really increasing? Okay, we knew 50 verses before, now we knew 55, so what? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا فَزَادَتْهُمْ إِيمَانًا وَهُمْ يَسْتَبْشِرُونَ. Those who have iman in their heart, as their understanding of the Quran increases, their iman also increases. And everything new that they learn about it, it makes them happy. But then there are those who have, Allah calls it a sickness in their heart. Those that have some kind of a dysfunction in their hearts. So they were in doubt before. The more verses they read or they understand, their doubts continue to increase. So what happens? Those doubts continue to build up, and they end up walking out of Islam. Today also there are some people that are reading the Quran, they're misunderstanding it, and they're looking at it with the eye of doubt, with the eye of suspicion, with the eye of why. Why this? Why this? Why this? Without understanding the basics. So one of our duties and responsibilities as believers, just as Muslims, is we increase our involvement, engagement, and attention with the Quran. This is a necessary component of our deen. If we do this, this book is going to keep us all on the right track and is going to continue to push us towards success. If we don't do this, we fail as individuals, and when the whole ummah starts doing this collectively, then we fail as groups, as communities, as a nation. So this is a great favor upon us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He has given us the time, the opportunity to build our connection. In this school, during your schooling, you cannot possibly learn everything there is in the Quran. Some, alhamdulillah, they will be fortunate enough to come out having memorized the whole Quran. But then there's a next process for them to learn about this. What have you memorized? To understand it. It's a lifelong commitment with the Quran. The idea in this type of schooling is to give you a good, strong familiarity with the Quran in terms of being able to read it, and with the Arabic programs that we have now, being able to understand it. And through the Islamic studies programs, being able to really flesh out the meanings, the applications, the lessons from it. This is what can be done in this time and in this context. But the most valuable thing that could possibly take place, what is more valuable than all of that, is you build an inseparable bond with this book. You become attached to it, and you make a commitment to yourself in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not to your parents, not to your teachers, but to yourself and to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that you will remain attached to this book. You will remain connected with this book, engaged with this book until you leave this world. And that is really what is required from the ummah today. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to start moving in that direction, and also give us that attention and that attachment with His book, that we're not at peace until we're engaged with the Quran. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa baraka ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi.